workmates, led by Marvin Go, I would like to thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to hear your voice with regards to the right of the child, children in conflict with the law, adoption, and family. Please tell me first about yourself, Mom.
Morning! I'm Rowena Romero Ladjao, resident of Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. I am a social welfare officer of the Regional Trial Court, Bayonggong, Nueva Vizcaya. Of course, I am a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Social Work. We have 10 rights of the child. Um, it's actually made into Tagalog so that it can be understood by most Filipinos. You can have it posted later in your of course, the number one right of the child is to be born with a name and a nationality, and to become free, to have a family that takes care of him or her, to be protected, to be free from abuse, all those things, and to be protected by the government, to have a full education, and also to be protected by the government in case of war, in case of difficulties. So all of these rights are embodied in this 10 rights of the child. I will be giving this to Ma'am Sherilyn. Okay, of course, I'm a social worker of the Regional Trial Court. This is a secondary setting. So, it's different from the duties of the social welfare officers of the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, where it is a primary setting. Here in court, we cater to the needs of children, families, especially children in conflict with the law, and child witnesses. The primary role of a social welfare officer in court is to conduct investigation and to submit reports regarding adoption, guardianship, custody, and also children in conflict with the law. In adoption, of course, we recommend if the adoption is to be approved by the court. So everything pertaining to the child and to the family and to the adopted parents must be checked, must be assessed before we make a recommendation. Same is true with custody and guardianship. In cases of children in conflict with the law, we have two categories. The cases of children in conflict with the law that can be set for diversion. Those cases are crimes that are committed by children that can be processed through a diversion. In diversion, the maximum penalty is 6 years, and the court sets up a committee which is headed by the branch clerk of court as chairman, and as members, the social worker, the public attorney's office, the prosecutor's office, the counsel chosen by the parties, the child himself and his family, and the private complainant. If assessed to be if assessed that it can be processed through diversion, they can have community-based diversion or center-based diversion. For children in conflict with the law, charged with heavier cases like rape, drug-related cases, murder, robbery, or cases such as that the penalty is higher than 6 years, they are detained, or they are allowed to Some are allowed to post bail. Some apply for release on recognizance. But first thing, when a child in conflict with the law is arrested, the social worker of the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office conducts an assessment on discernment, whether the child acted with discernment at the time of the commission of the offense. And once the child is found to have acted with discernment at the time of the commission of the offense, a case is filed against him. But if the child is found not to have acted with discernment, no case can be filed against him. So once the child is charged, they are either detained or they can post bail as a matter of right. Once detained, here in Nueva Vizcaya, we have a female and youth dormitory where children in conflict with the law are detained separate from adult offenders. And there are programs and services being given by the provincial jail for them, like ALS, or alternative education, seminars, trainings, and also religious activities where they are given counseling and spiritual enhancement. In court, the children in conflict with the law are treated with special care. Their cases are heard fast so that their rights are safeguarded. They have fast and speedy trial. And if they are found to be guilty, they can be convicted. But when they are convicted, their sentences are suspended. And the court orders for the social worker of the court to conduct an assessment on the disposition measure to be given to the child. And that is to check whether the child should be placed in a rehabilitation center or can he be placed in a community where the monitoring can be conducted by the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Officer. So once ordered to either go to the center or to the community, it usually runs for 6 months. And the social worker also monitors the child, the progress and development of the child who is undergoing the rehabilitation. So when the child has already complied with the rehabilitation plan, they are recommended for the dismissal of the case. So the child goes back to the court and has a hearing where his case can be dismissed. From the time of the dismissal of the case up to a period of 2 years, the child, if he has not committed any crime, can be recommended for the closure of the case of the child. So that even if he gets an NBI clearance, a police clearance, a court clearance, once these officers are ordered for the closure of the case, no case will appear in his clearance. That goes through, the same is true with the child in conflict with the law who underwent diversion. So these are the two classifications of children in conflict with the law being processed here in court. Another duty of a social worker is to assist a child witness in court. So our duty, of course, is to make the child comfortable in court, make the atmosphere in court as friendly as possible, and to check whether the child needs a guardian who can assist him or her in providing his testimony. So before the child is placed in the witness box, we usually conduct an assessment whether the child is ready to provide his testimony or not. And if the child is not ready emotionally, he or she is either afraid or have difficulties in providing his testimony, we usually inform the court about it. Sometimes the child needs assistance, especially in rape cases where the victim is a child and has difficulty providing her testimony. We provide anatomically correct dolls so that she can demonstrate what has been done to her, and it helps. Sometimes they need the presence of person they are comfortable with to be able to provide their testimony. And aside from this major task or duties that social workers of the court have, we also conduct referrals where, of course, the court has no funding that can be provided to clients, so we usually refer them for financial assistance to the municipal social welfare officer or office where they live. And sometimes we also give referrals for them to undergo psychiatric or psychological evaluation, and for other such services like medical, and sometimes they also need livelihood, so we try to give referrals so that they can easily access services from other agencies. After the case is dismissed, the child is still recommended for aftercare services to the municipal social welfare officer of the place where the child lives. And this is to prevent the child from reoffending and to assist him in reintegrating back to his community. For regular CICL cases, those children who are filed or charged with a heavier crime like drugs, murder, rape, robbery, these children are mostly detained at the provincial jail. And we have a dormitory there. It's called the Female and Youth Dormitory. It's housed in the provincial jail. And we as social workers of the court monitor their progress and assist them while their cases are pending in court. Once they are charged or convicted, of course, their sentence is suspended. Duties and responsibilities of social worker, I think that covers it all. And if you have any questions or inquiries regarding the processes or our duties and responsibilities, you are free to come to the Regional Trial Court Office of the Social Services and Counseling Office, or simply ask direction from Ma'am Sherilyn. We are open, of course, Mondays through Fridays and 8 to 5. Sometimes we also cater, because of the pandemic, we also cater for inquiries and assistance through telephone or cell phone. So, I think it's posted, Ma'am Sheng, diba? So, any questions regarding the report I made, you can contact Ma'am Sherilyn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.